Good morning, good morning, good morning, friends and family. This is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie back again with another video. And in this video, I want to talk about, the problems that rest with and in the house of Israel. And the problem I want to talk about is this whole whole thing of accepting the culture of single motherhood. This is not just an American culture, this is a Jamaican culture too. It is a Jamaican, it seems to be a very negative culture that we're trying to make positive, and it will never be something positive. We need to stop praising them. We need to stop looking at them as, they just made a mistake. No, we can't look at them like that. You understand? We can sympathize. We can sympathize, but we still gotta stay the path. Let me let you understand something. Judgment begins with the house of Israel, as the scriptures say in Revelations. Judgment is gonna start with us, if you don't know that. And then the other nations will be judged afterwards. So if you're not clear, and if you don't read scripture, you don't know that. You think the other nations are judged first? They're not. Judgment begins with the house of Israel first. Then the other nations is going to be judged. Right? So in saying that, we like to condone too much. And this is because of white people. And I'm going to say it, period. I'm going to tell the truth as it is, period. We like to condone too much the rebellious spirit of Jezebel in our midst and in the midst of our people, whether it's on social media or in public. This whole thing of baby mama culture, single mother culture, you understand? That's debauchery and unrighteousness, and we need to cut it out like a cancer. You understand? And I'm going to talk about this situation because I find it that it's so funny that the same people that we claim that we're the people of Israel, we claim that we're the chosen people, but yet still we're acting like we're not. We're acting like we have no freaking standards. It's just it's like you're just using the fact that we now know the truth, that we are the true people of the Most High. It's just a name tag for you because you don't care. You're still living the same life, still smoking weed, still sleeping with a bunch of women, still sleeping with a bunch of men and having children by those men, living in complete unrighteousness. Our women are extremely rebellious to men, extremely disrespectful to men, and we're condoning this. We're condoning women to speak any and whichever way towards men, and then talking about where is the leadership of the men. Whenever men speak out against these women, what do you other men do? You chastise them. You make them feel as if they're wrong for calling out women for doing something wrong. You are a part of the problem. Why our women can't get better? When other women call them out, when they do the same thing, leave them alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone for what? They claim to be Hebrew people. They need to live to a certain standard. It's not a joke. It is not a joke. We're not here to live in unrighteousness. We're here to live a standard so that the rest of the world can live it too. That's the whole purpose of our people. To show them Yah through us. A lot of you don't even have Yah in you because you love to live in unrighteousness and you love to condone unrighteousness. Right? So, let me give you some scriptures about Christ putting a woman in her place. Right? And he does this several times when he puts women in their place. Let me tell you the first instance. At the first instance, he's at the well. Right? He's at the well and the woman approaches him. And him said, give me a cup to drink. Give me some water to drink. The woman says, sir, the well is deep and you don't have a bucket. How you gonna drink? Him said, if you knew who you were speaking to, the one who possesses the living water, that you will never die ever again. The woman says, give me this water so that I may drink. Him say, alright, first go and call your husband. She looks at him slyly. Sly. You understand? And say to him, sir, I have no husband. You know what she was doing? Making a friggin' pass at him. She was making a freaking pass at the Messiah. That's exactly what she was doing. And don't tell me that how it was just an innocent answer. No, she was making a freaking pass at him. And what he does, he cut it off same time. He says, yeah, you don't have a husband. You've had 5 husbands. And the man that you're living with is not your husband. Thereby telling her to move her backside from you, so. Or whoring backside. It's a condoning of this behavior why we're in the situation that we're in. Why we can't get no better. And when the men have decided to walk away from it, wanna blame them for walking away. Wanna blame them for getting passports and not wanting to deal with this debauchery. Not wanting to deal with this type of slime. When men get up and complain that there are no good women out there, there are no women that are respectful to me out there, you're telling them to shut up and deal with it. And they say, no, I don't have to. I'm going to walk away. And they walk away and you still blame them for what you're doing wrong. Judgment begins with the house of Israel. That's where it's going to start. Our people need to change. There's a lot of foolishness we need to cut out. We need to cut it out. It's a cancer. It's destroying the very fabric of our people. It's destroying our men and our women. It's creating a cycle of crime and violence. A cycle of whoredom. A cycle of disrespect. A cycle of unrighteousness. A cycle of debauchery. And when men speak up about it, they're the ones who are wrong. Because they tell you that you're not supposed to be opening up your legs to any and every man. And that you should get married first. They're wrong for what? All the excuses are that, oh, you know, the man can be sly and show you the wickedness afterwards. Some of you don't properly vet no man. Some of you are so desperate for a relationship with a man, you don't vet him. Him in your bed before him even in your head. He's in your bed even before him in your head. Some of you even willingly want to take care of a man. That's how backwards we are as a people. Backwards, where we'll go as far as to take care of a man. Rather than lift your standard up and go for the right man. Go for a man who wants you to respect him. You rather have Tyrone who are going to slam you left, right, and center against a freaking wall for a time being, and then share him seat with everybody else in the freaking neighborhood. What is righteous about that? What on earth is righteous about that? Why is it that we as a people can't hear to stop the foolishness? Our daughters are twerking before they can even read. Them twerking before they even know themselves properly and their worth and their values. Our sons are tattooed up and taught to be gangsters before them can read. Before them can even play properly on a playground. You're dressing them up as a thug boyfriend that you love off. And then when you're old and grey, wonder why your child turned out like that. When you're old and gray, wonder why your child won't behave themselves. When you're old and gray, wondering why no one wants to be around you with your loud and vulgar mouth. The reason why I'm making this video, my people, is this. Right? Men have been talking about these black men in particular, and I've said it many times, I'm gonna say it again. The red pill did not start with everyone. It started with especially American black men airing out the problems that they were facing with black women concerning dating and this whole baby mama culture. That's where it started. And then white people, because they want to be, because them so ratted enough, and because they want commercialize and make money upon every freaking thing, took that and said, oh, we have these problems too, let's all get together. And then all of a sudden you see them with them own podcasts, right? And them steal content from people, right? And commercialize it and make more money on the problems that black men are still currently facing. That it started with the manosphere, with black men speaking about these problems. I know, because I was watching these videos from way before I moved to America, where black men were talking about this, and I was like, yo, black Americans are facing this a problem too? The same issues what we always talk about, and them think them talk about it too? So you kind of find a brotherhood in it, because you're saying that you didn't feel as lonely anymore as men. You know, knowing worldwide that black men worldwide were facing the same problem as you, where women had these problems, and we were pretending, the world was pretending that they were angels, and etc, etc, etc. So anyway, I joined this Facebook page. It's a page for married people, or I don't know. I don't even know. I think I joined the wrong page. Married Hebrew people. So I thought, you know, we could be able to share ideas, talk about stuff, whatever it is. You had a woman in particular, she put up a post about how, you know, she has about 4 children, and she can't find nobody to marry her or whatever it is. So I asked her, I put a question in the comment section. I said, why didn't it work out with the father? Oh my goodness, how dare I kill the sacred cow? You'd think I shot the sacred cow. Because the amount of men, and boy, I tell you. And I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You have one telling me how it's offensive to ask such a private question. I'm like, private question? The woman came out here in public talking about her problems of not being able to find somebody that wants her because she have kids. And the one question I ask is, so okay, why didn't it work out with you with the father of the children? What went wrong? And you're gonna tell me that there's something wrong with asking such a question, as if it's taboo to hold our women accountable. Why is it taboo? Why is it taboo to hold women accountable for the foolish decisions they are purposefully making in our society? Why is it no longer a concept of make your bed and lie in it? Why is it that we always want to do something and deflect from understanding that we've made dumb decisions, and these dumb decisions have consequences in our society? And why is it more that we always want to do that soft landing for women? I just don't get it. I just don't get it, because to me, it's all unrighteousness altogether. If you can't look at me and tell me why your relationship with the children's father did not work out, obviously you haven't worked out anything wrong on your side either. Which means that even if you get into another relationship, the same problems are still present within you, because all these people like to do is present the woman as never being wrong. She's never done anything wrong. She popped out kids for a man that walked away. She's never done anything wrong in her life. That's the most stupid concept that we're holding on to in this society. And that's why we have a lot of passport bros. That's why we have a lot of men going their own ways. That's where we have a lot of men walking away. Period. Period. There's no new statistics saying that by 2030, more than 50% of women in America or in the West are going to be single and childless. Single and childless. Now, what is the percentage in all of those women? What is the percentage of Hebrew women, black women in general? What is the percentage of that in that 50% of women? Right? Or let's say out of 100% of women, how many percentage of women are black? Right? Are they 5%? 15%? Let's put them at 10%. So out of the 50% of women, 10% of the women are black, right? Now, let's do another statistics with that. Let's say all 10% of those women, not even 50% out of that 10% of women is single and childless. Let's say 75% out of that 10% of women are single and childless. Tell me now, right? Who's going to be to blame for that? Who's to blame that women are single and childless, especially when they want a man? Who is to blame for that? Tell me. Right? We're rebelling so much that whenever people telling us that we're rebelling, you're literally shooting the messenger. You're shooting the messenger. And on the day of judgment, you're going to have to answer for it. You're going to have to answer for shooting a messenger. You people love to live in freaking unrighteousness too much. You want to be coddled in unrighteousness. Coddled in it. My daughter won't be living in that unrighteousness with you, because her entire freaking life is going to be governed by men. Right? Her mother going to govern her, and I'm going to govern her. She's not going to live on no freaking street like you street Arabs, as we call them back home. Anytime somebody dip on the street too much, we call them street Arabs. You understand? Or street rat. Dip on the street too damn much instead of their own damn house. Just like in Proverbs. An unrighteous woman that is always on the street rather than in her own freaking house. Yeah, some of you claim to be Hebrew Israelites, but in unrighteous same way to the bone. You are Hebrew Israelite only in name, but your actions and your thoughts are far from the Father, very far from the Father. Don't look at me and tell me that me telling a woman that she shouldn't have slept with a man and that it didn't work out, or that she didn't try to make it work out, that she's wrong. We encourage too much of this debauchery, of the destruction of our children by women doing whatever they want and thinking about themselves rather than thinking about the very children that they make. And because of these types of women, the cycle repeats itself. I don't want you type of women around my daughter. I don't want you around my wife. I don't even want to be around you. I don't even like being around certain types of women. You understand? I said it all the time. When I was an athlete, practicing, training, competing, there were certain types of women you looked at from a distance and knew who they were. And you avoided them. You didn't even go, you didn't allow these women in your presence. These women did not exist to you certain ways. You understand? You brush them off with a certain, like people people don't understand, you know, why I said what I said. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of athletes that will tell you this. There are athletes that will tell you this. That you have a lot of women who claim that they want men that make a certain amount of money, that men who have a certain physique, that men who have a certain popularity, a certain lifestyle and stuff like that. They don't want you. They can see you from a distance and you're already known as loud. You don't even have to open your mouth sometimes. Your body language says more than enough to us. I tell my wife all the time. My wife always thinks I'm looking at a woman and stuff like that when I'm actually just disgusted by how the woman looks. She thinks I'm being lecherous and I have to explain to her, Ashley, you really don't understand me sometimes. Sometimes I'm like you think I'm looking at this woman, but I'm not. I'm actually just disgusted with how she looks. It's loud and it's vulgar. These are things that I learned growing up. That whenever a woman dresses a certain way, it's loud and it's vulgar. And that's something that I don't want to be around as a decent man. So when women are talking about men, there aren't any good men out there. There are plenty of good men out there. They just don't want you. They see you from a distance. They see how you're dressed. And then sometimes when you even open up your mouth, it's an instant turn off for us. Instant turn off for decent men. To hear you speak. Not speak intellectually. Not being able to hold a decent conversation past 3 minutes. Men speak on it all the time. You understand? There's a lot of reasons why a lot of men ghost a lot of women. You might meet a girl at a party and you're talking to her and you're like, in your mind, immediately a guy says this ain't going nowhere. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go past the night. So I might as well just enjoy talking to her until the party is done because I don't have anything else better to do. A lot of you women think that you are the shit. You aren't. You're not. You're not the shit. Some men talk to you out of freaking boredom. Some men talk to you because we have nothing better to do. But if there were more people for us to talk to, we would never ever look in your direction because you never show up on our radar. And I know a lot of men can express what I'm talking about. A lot of you successful businessmen know exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of you athletes know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not even about options. It's not about options. It's about us not wanting to deal with loud and vulgar people. You understand? Not wanting to deal with women who don't know social etiquette. When to close our mouth. How to sit properly. How to eat properly. How to conduct ourselves when she's in a group of people. How to stand up properly. I tell you all the time, men look at a lot of these things. Men look at a lot of these things and women don't. You're not seeking to try and understand how men think or operate because you just don't care. Because you believe that you're the shit, that you're a goddess, as media and as many other men have made you to believe that you're some kind of goddess that from the get-go should be worshipped. The ground that you walk on should be worshipped. Everybody should be throwing down flower petals for you to walk on the ground, etc., etc., etc. And that has never been the case with decent men, or men that are successful and do not even need you in their presence, or don't even want you in their presence. And that's the next thing too that I needed to understand. And I'm going to talk about a story, because I really need women to understand that you like, this thing needs to be, you need to cut this foolishness off. And when you have friends that behave like this, cut them off, because they're not helpful. They're not helpful or progressive to your life. They're a cancer to you. I had a co-worker that I used to work with back home. I've never called this person friend. Never. And a lot of my friends can tell you I've never called this person friend. And everybody in the gym stayed away from this person. Stayed away from this person. Whenever we were going out, we huddled, we whispered, and then we went out afterwards. This person was never invited to most of our outings. When we go beach, this person could come. But every time we go beach, this person would bring a child with her. Some child that she was taking care of and stuff like that. We didn't mind that. But when we already like max out how many people going and how many cars are going to beach and who taking who in whose car, whatever it is, you can't come and decide that you're gonna bring a child with you. And the one main thing I always say to this person is who is going to watch that child, because I sure am not. It's not my child. I didn't bring her. I'm not watching her. She always brought some kind of child with her. And so most times when we start to go out to the beaches, we stop asking. We stop inviting her. We don't invite her. We're going out to dinner. We don't invite her. Because she's always loud and vulgar. She has no social etiquette. Even as I was sympathetic to her and tried to teach her certain social etiquette, she didn't want to take it in. She didn't want to take it in. And so we just decided to say, okay, we're just going to go certain places without her. She don't want to take it in. She don't want to hear. She won't be loud. She won't be vulgar. She won't be this. She won't be that. We just did not. Beyond working with her, we did not talk or hang out. And by the way, people in Jamaica, we hang out after work. You understand? Yo, to me, it was an extremely new concept that when I came to America and I was working with people, after work, didn't hang out. You understand? So it's a complete, like, people talking about, oh, you know, co-workers are not your friends and stuff like that. I understand that concept now in America, but back home in Jamaica, it's not a concept that we basically, if you go to Jamaica and you go work somewhere, I can guarantee you that even on your first day, you can say, yo, come on, let's go grab a beer. On your first day, yo, come on, go sit down at the beach side and go chill out. On your first day, yo, come on, go sit down, let's go chill out before we go away yard on your first day. You understand? Jamaicans are very friendly. Yeah, if there's one thing I really and truly miss about my homeland is how friendly our people are, how loving our people are. Sorry, never mean to say are. How loving my people are. Certain things made me sad back home, but certain things, like when I left Jamaica, I told my family I do intend to return. I do intend to return, visit, buy a plan and thing. That's what my objective is. That's always gonna be my objective. You understand? But anyway, people, Those are things we need to cut out with our people. We need to cut it out. We need to cut out this foolishness of unrighteousness. This is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie. That's my rant for the Shabbat. Peace. I'm out.